Alycats and new viewers. So today I'm doing my March favorites, but this is part 1. Yes, there's going to be a second part because there's already so many favorites I have this month that just doing one video would take forever. So it's split up into 2. So the latter half of March will be my part 2 favorites of March, if you get my drift. But this is like my favorite things from the beginning of this month, so let's just get on with it before I confuse you anymore. First thing, a book is the only book I've read this month, but it's Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I think that's how you say her name. And it's so good. I wrote a review on Nerdy But Flirty, and it will be up March 10th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's really good. It's about how this girl who's just a freshman in college, and she writes fan fiction, but she's super obsessed with Simon Snow, which is like a very loving homage to Harry Potter. And nobody can compare to Simon Snow to her, and she has to learn how to navigate relationships and all this, and it's just such a good book. I highly recommend it. If you like fan fiction, you will adore this. It's kind of a geeky book, but it's so good, so well written. I highly recommend Fangirl. Now moving on to the games. I've only got 3 right now, saving the others for the end of the month. But first up, this game I adore. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All for the Nintendo DS. I love the Phoenix Wright series. They are very text heavy. It's like basically a visual novel type of game. But if you've never played one of these, you're a defense attorney, and you have about 4 or 5 cases per game. And with the cases, you have to gather information, interrogate witnesses, and you have to defend your client. You have to get a not guilty verdict. It's just so fun. There's so much like great humor packed into this game, and it does get tricky sometimes because you might think one piece of evidence fits, you know, the testimony, but it really doesn't. So it's really, really interesting. I love it, and I need to get the last game in the series for the DS and the spin-offs because I love this so much. It's so much fun. Next up, I'm actually going to include this. This is Death Smiles. Death Smiles was sent to me by my best friend ever, Rich, for Valentine's Day. And Death Smiles is a shmup made by Cave. And why is my voice going all little? I don't know. But it's so fun. You can play as 4 Lolitas, and you just go around, and there's insane enemies, and just everything's flying at you, and you're like, whoa! But it's so much fun, and I know I'm not giving the game justice, but definitely, if you like shmups, or even if you haven't played a shmup yet, but you're interested in it, pick this one up, because this one is pretty noob friendly, because I hadn't played a shmup in a long time, but this one just really reintroduced me to the genre, and I loved it. I still love it. It's very relaxing. Each level is very short, so it doesn't take a long time, so you can play 4 levels in about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on your skill level. So yeah, it's definitely worth it, and it's such a little known game too, so Death Smiles, great shmup. Pick it up if you like shmups. That rhymed. I'm stupid, I know. And the final game for this month is South Park: The Stick of Truth. I love the South Park TV show. I was kind of worried that this wouldn't be good because, you know, it got delayed for a year after its first release date. And Obsidian Entertainment, they didn't have a lot of game experience. I mean, they had created Alpha Protocol, which wasn't very good, in my opinion. And they created Fallout New Vegas, which was pretty good, but not as good as Fallout 3. But this is an incredible game. One of the best licensed titles I've ever played. It's beautiful. Graphically, it's beautiful, even though it's meant to look crappy like the show. It's just beautiful, and the voice acting by Matt Stone and Trey Parker is great. It looks like you're watching the TV show when you're playing it. If someone just walked by the room, they would think you're watching the show instead of playing the game. It's just so much fun. There's so many recognizable characters in this game. There's Mr. Hanky, Jesus, Al Gore, Underpants Gnomes. I'm sorry, that was a spoiler. I'm sorry. But I'm not going to tell you what you do with those characters, okay? So, there we go. And basically, every character that's been prominent in this series is in this game. And it's just a great RPG, a great licensed game. Pick it up if you like South Park at all. you don't have to have seen every episode to enjoy this game. It's great. I love it. Definitely one of my favorite games of 2014. Well, there are several movies I watched just in this first part of March and the last of February that I absolutely loved. And I'm just going to kick it off right now because it might be a little long-winded. But the first one is Carrie, the remake of the original Stephen King novel movie. You know, it's the one with Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore. And a lot of people said, oh, it's not as good as the first Carrie. I haven't seen the first Carrie, so I can't really judge it on that. But just by itself, it's a good movie. It's not really scary to me. It's more gory than scary. But I just love the story of Carrie White. She's not related to me, but just the story of how she was bullied and how her mother tried to kill her when she was born, and that's a spoiler too. This is just a spoiler-filled video. But, you know, her mother was just a religious maniac, and, you know, you feel for the poor girl, and what happens to her at prom and everything. It was a good movie. Well acted, phenomenal. If you like horror movies, check it out. I mean, it's not scary, like I said, but, you know, there's some cool effects in it. There's lots of gore. I loved it, so I'm giving it my thumbs up. Next up is The Bling Ring, and this is based off of the crime that happened in, was it 2003, where a group of teenagers went and robbed the houses of stars like Paris Hilton and Rachel Bilson and Orlando Bloom. Well, this movie is based on that. And it tells the tale of the teenagers, and they actually did film in Paris Hilton's house for the movie, and then it just shows their lifestyle, like why they steal, what their characteristics are like, how they get caught. It's just very interesting, and it's very stylish. It's directed by Sofia Coppola. She directed Marie Antoinette, and some, I can't remember her other movies. I think Mona Lisa's Smile. So it's a very flamboyant movie. It's very stylish, very avant-garde, but it's very good. I mean, I loved it. I just loved it. So if you like that kind of movie, like, you know, based on true events, but heavily stylized, definitely check out The Bling Ring, because Emma Watson, Katie Chang, and Taissa Farmiga are all phenomenal in the movie, and definitely check it out. It's interesting. Next up is Enough Said, which I was actually pleasantly surprised by how good it was. And this stars Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Catherine Keener, and the late James Gandolfini. And James Gandolfini is just I was going to say phenomenal, but I've said phenomenal a bunch in this video, so he's fantastic. And it's so sad to see such a huge talent, you know, pass away. And this was a great role for him. He was very kind-hearted in this movie. He was a big teddy bear. And it's basically about the relationship between this woman and the guy she meets, who is James Gandolfini. And this woman is a masseuse, so she meets this other woman at a party, and she becomes her masseuse, and she finds out that James Gandolfini's character is her new client's ex-husband, so it becomes very awkward, and, you know, it shows how love actually is. It doesn't sugarcoat it. It doesn't say, oh, they're going to live happily ever after at the end. You know, it shows the true struggles of family, relationships, friendships. It's wonderful. And if you like James Gandolfini, or if you've never even seen him in anything, watch this. You will fall in love with him and realize how big of an impact his passing has on Hollywood. Also, I really enjoyed Kevin Hart, Laugh at My Pain. I know this came out a while ago, but it's part documentary, part stand-up comedy act, and part movie spoof. And I love Kevin Hart. He's one of my favorite comedians, and it's super funny. It is very expletive-filled, though, and very sexual, so if you don't like that kind of stuff, you probably won't like this, but it shows what Kevin Hart went through to become a comedian, and then it shows his stand-up act, which is hilarious. I loved it. And then it has a little movie spoof of Reservoir Dogs. I can't say that word at the very end. And it's wonderful. If you like Kevin Hart, definitely check out Kevin Hart, Laugh at My Pain. Can Alyssa talk? No, she can't. And the final movie I enjoyed this month was Thor: The Dark World. Loved the first Thor. I'm a big Thor girl, okay? Thor's my favorite superhero. And Thor: The Dark World didn't disappoint. It was beautiful. The graphics were amazing. The effects were amazing. the actors did a great job. Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston especially as Loki. He did a great job. And, you know, Natalie Portman's character is a little on the weak side in this movie, but, you know, I had fun watching it. It's a great popcorn type of movie. It's very, very, very entertaining. So if you enjoyed the first Thor movie, definitely watch this. It probably helps if you watch the first Thor, though, because it leaves, like, right off after the first Thor. But definitely, it's great. It's one of the best superhero movies out there, so check out Thor: The Dark World. Now we're moving on to the TV segment, which I only have 3 shows to talk about. First off is Devil Survivor 2, the animation. I just started watching it on Crunchyroll, and I love it. The production values are very high quality. It's based off the Devil Survivor 2 game for the Nintendo DS, and it just follows the story of Hibiki, Daichi, and Ita, and they download this app on their phone called Nikaya, or Deadface, and it shows people dying right before they die. So they download this app and they see themselves dying, and then they actually get run over by a train, and then they have the choice of either dying or coming back to life, so obviously they choose to come back to life. And then they find out they have the ability to summon demons, and it's just really, really well done. It is Japanese with English subtitles, so I can understand if that would turn some people off, which usually I'm not a big fan of that, but this show is just so well made that I love it. So I definitely recommend checking it out. You can watch it for free. I mean, you do have to watch the ads, but just check it out on Crunchyroll.com. Next up is Glee. A lot of people either love or hate Glee. I love Glee. It's been a personal savior to me, and I just love it so far. I love the musical numbers. I love the cat fight between Santana and Rachel. I love how the New Directions are kind of drifting apart because, half of them are going to college, half of them are staying, and I just love everything about the show. I love how Adam Lambert and Demi Lovato are guest stars. It's great. I'm not going to talk any more about it because, Glee is basically singing, dancing, and talking about typical teenage problems, so I'm not going to go too in depth in that. And the final show is Bates Motel. I loved the first season, and the second season kicked off with one hell of a bang. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say what happened, but this Bates Motel is a prequel to Psycho, and it basically tells the story of Norman Bates and his mom, Norma, and you also find out he has a half-brother. It just shows him being a teenager, and he's very awkward, and he's into taxidermy, so he's kind of weird. But this is before he becomes a true psychopath, and it's just very fascinating. It is a very dark show. It has some touches of humor, but it's very dark. So if you like dark TV shows about murder and, tough topics like emotional issues, definitely watch Bates Motel. And if you like Psycho, definitely watch it because this is even better than the movie. I'm serious. Bates Motel is better than Psycho. Now, onto the YouTubers that I love this month. And, of course, they're going to be linked below the playlist in the description box down below. But first off, I have to say thank you to the Geeky Panda blog. He was my first patron on Patreon. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Check out his channel. He has gameplay videos, loot crate unboxings, game unboxings, and accessory unboxings, and he just does a lot of stuff. He makes videos about conventions. And he's been a good Alycat. He's been with me since pretty much the beginning. And he has a good channel. He deserves more subscribers, so go check out the Geeky Panda blog. Next up, Seth Hendricks. Seth is a close friend of mine. Really. That's why he calls his subscribers close friends. But Seth is a sweetheart. And I just screwed that up. Sorry, Seth. And he makes hilarious videos. Oh my gosh. I love your videos, Seth. He does loot crate unboxings, vlogs, he has a gaming channel. He's dating one of my good friends, Rachel Moore, and he's not bad looking himself either. So girls, if you want to check him out, go check him out. But guys, he's good for guys to watch too because he's very into video games, geekiness, zebra cakes. Go check out Seth. He deserves it. You're amazing, Seth. I love your videos. I've been a subscriber for a long time now, so I'm stalking you. No, I'm not. I'm not stalking you. Maybe just a little bit. No. And now, next up, I have to give major props to my friend Grant Gets Games. Gak has created a great channel, and I'm so sad that he doesn't have more subscribers. Lately he's been doing a lot of live fire edition videos, which is where he plays a game, and if he dies he takes a shot of hot sauce with habanero peppers in it, and sometimes he'll add horseradish or wasabi in it, and every time he dies he drinks that shot. It's just painful to watch him do that, but it's kind of funny, and I'm kind of worried that you're going to die, Gak, because what would I do without you? Because I adore your little robot heart to death. But definitely check out Gak's YouTube channel because it's pretty incredible, and he's put a lot of hard work and effort and time into this, so check out Grant Gets Games. Next YouTuber is The Gaming Shelf. The Gaming Shelf has a very high quality channel. He does reviews and unboxings, all that good stuff about gaming. He's a super nice guy, and I love all of your videos. I love them all, and you know, just check him out if you like that kind of stuff, which if you're watching me you probably do, and he's way better than me, so go check out The Gaming Shelf. And finally, I have to give props to Derek H. I did mention him in my Spreading the Love video, but Derek deserves more subscribers. He's such a sweetheart. Derek, you're a sweetheart. He does a lot of pickup videos, like weekly pickup videos, unboxings, some gameplay. Derek's just super talented. He's got a great personality, and you know, he deserves more subscribers, like I said. I mean, he's such a good guy, and I just want to hug you, Derek. You are so sweet, and you're so knowledgeable, so go check out Derek H. Of course, all my favorite music is down in the description box down below in the playlist, so go check that out. And thank you for watching today's video. I know I stumbled a little bit with my words and stuff, but you know, got my favorites out of the way. And be on the lookout for part 2 near the end of the month. I have acid reflux, and this is unpleasant. But if you like the video, please leave a like, click that thumbs up button, leave me a comment telling me what your March favorites so far are. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to become an Alycat, because Alycats are awesome people, and we love each other, and we have a lot of fun together, and we're awesome, and there's just too many pros to being an Alycat, so just subscribe already. Subscribe. And favorite so your friends and family and total weirdos on the internet can see. And share me as long as you do it nicely. I love each and every one of you so much. And you'll always be my favorites every month. Every month you're my favorites. So I'm going to go now because I'm kind of losing my voice now. Peace and kisses. Bye.